Like, you have no principles, you have no morals, you have no moral consistency is what I should say. It's just so much fucking mental gymnastics, which is why people have to argue against strawman versions of my position rather than the actual position itself. I'm not a support of animal, I'm a supporter of consensual zoo. I don't encourage it. Dogs try to hump your leg.
Anyways, guys, Your Movie Sucks has responded in multiple different posts. This is the one that was sent to me. He actually didn't respond to the other two videos, but if you check out the official YMS playlist to keep informed about any new segments that we do. Oh, look, this guy's streaming right now. I hear he's pretty good. You go to the playlist here, you've got the Your Movie Sucks related videos. It has been updated 2 days ago. If you check out the first 2 videos, they're right here. This video was the one going over the Rob's Media segment, and this was his responses that he posted. This was his response to me. I thought you could say all that on YouTube. Yeah, okay, you can, but it can't be every other word caked in with, like, I think the phrase "you send nudes to mothers" or some variation of it was said like 60 times throughout one of these segments. No, you probably can't say that 60 times. I feel like at that point, this is reaching like egregious levels of like, I'm playing with fire here. Also, that is a diabolical recommended video. All right, so we have that response that we have to take a look at. Then Nikandros has posted a new video going through different clips of YMS that I haven't seen before. And that one has also caused quite the stir. But don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Nikandros is powerful. He can respond with equal Dark Viperisms, but will he fall to a mega Dark Viper post? I don't know. I haven't read any of this yet. This is all new to me. I haven't even seen the Nikandros video, so I'm very excited to check it out. I posted this. This is a response to my first video going over just the Rob's Media stuff, so he does not address the other 2 videos. It's all here to look at, which I did pin per his request, even though I wasn't going to do that. So at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, he was going to do the timestamp thing, but then he didn't, I guess. He did 2 timestamps of being a zoophile. This is some serious shit. So there's no way that's the first timestamp. There's no way that that's the first timestamp of being a zoophile. This is some serious shit. So dude, this guy will look at you dead in the, maybe not this guy, but like some asshole will look at you and be like, he deleted my YouTube comment. Why would a filter ever take this down? It's like, dude, this is what they designed it for. This is what the content filter, this is what they think this is spam. Yes. Also, thank you for censoring this so it doesn't get dinged on my stream. I appreciate it. Holy fuck. YMS 9 days ago has said this. Respectfully, you can't keep pretending that Rob was never making these accusations when you admit it out loud that this was the premise of the video. He even says Null should have called him a dog and moved on. You cannot pretend as though his video was just asking questions or just showing things you said when you were admitting out loud to understanding the premise of the video is to accuse me of being a blank. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and show you all the clips that we showed you in this video and the subsequent video and the video after that. That's what this video is for. I guess there's new stuff that you haven't seen here that's going to be fun for me to censor. But ultimately, the issue arises with the comments that YMS has actually made. It's not that Rob has to go bend over backwards to say anything absolutely insane here. YMS has a long-standing pattern of behavior in engaging in arguments like this. And yeah, I think that, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not going to go out here and say anything definitive. A, because I'm not looking for a lawsuit. And B, I don't really know what's inside your head. But I'm also not going to fault Rob or anyone else to coming to those conclusions about you. That's where I stand on it. At 25 minutes, you have now added in the context that you were not aware of until you watched my response video after your first stream. The fact that you included it here shows that you agree this is necessary context that should have been included in Rob's video. Why is no one holding Rob to that standard? So what is the context that I had it here? Actually, an animal tortured and fucked an animal, or like an animal, and then Adam dove in for that. Why? Really?
Again, Adam did not dive into this conversation out of the blue. It's because his name was invoked, and well,
is this slowed down? Why do I sound like a sped?
He couldn't let that.
Okay, it
slide.
was. Holy shit, dude. Sorry.
He had.
Like, what the?
I fight with Null from Kiwi Farms about it.
I am still kind of slow. I think I recorded this at like 2 a.m. But yeah. So, okay. So I understand what he's arguing here. I will explain this to you because it doesn't really do a good job of explaining it. At 25:24, you have now added in context that you were not aware of until you watched the response video after the first stream. So what we're talking about here is I'm talking about the clip where Null and Rob were fighting. I actually don't know about Rob's video. Let me play the segment in Rob's video really quickly because I know that Rob included the full context of the conversation. I think that I added this correction in, and I don't remember for a matter of fact if it's true. I thought it was my fuck up, not Rob's fuck up. I think that Rob said that, no?
On another stream, Adam would defend bestiality.
Okay, that's not the clip I wanted.
The funniest instance of this is when Adam started an argument with Null, the owner of Kiwi Farms, after he uploaded a video in late 2018 talking about the zoo sadist, Wolf. In that video, he makes the claim that Adam is part of the growing normalization for dogs.
Okay, that context is in Rob's video. I missed that. I must not have been paying attention. So when I got to it here, and I think that you might have said that in your other response, so I'm doing that to like placate to you as well, because I wasn't aware of that. And I think when I watched your reaction, I found that out for the first time, even though I missed it. I put that in here because that was my mistake. Okay, I pause it and talked over it, and I missed the explanation. So when YMS says at 25 minutes you have now added in context that you were not aware of until watching my response video after your first stream, the fact that you included it here shows that you agree it's necessary context. Yeah, I do. It's from the video. This was my mistake, right? Like I said, Adam started the conversation.
Video in late 2018.
And it was started by Null when Null took a shot at him. Now, Adam, I fully agree with my position that Adam should not jump in and fight Null on it. But I thought that Adam jumped in to defend Kuro the Wolf. I missed the fact that he was there because Null took a shot at him. Thus, Null, like, did that. And then Adam jumped in and then started having a fight about it, right?
Talking about the zoo sadist, Wolf. In that video.
But, like, the context is there. It's unfortunately my mistake. That's why I corrected it when I posted the VOD. Yeah. Dude, what the fuck? So there are some people here who haven't seen any of these pieces of this fucking segment, and they're just like, wait, what the fuck are we? Zoo sadist? What is happening? Null and YMS, not Rob, we're fighting. Let me just say this one more time in plain, perfect English. YMS is telling me that this is important context that should have been in the video. I watched Rob's Media's video. I paused at a bad time. I missed the context that was in Rob's video. If I had listened to all of that, I would have understood and made the assumption, if I was paying attention to it, I would have realized that YMS did not just go out of his way to fight with Kiwi Farms, okay? He went out of his way to fight with Kiwi Farms because Null made it like a joke crack about it, which I guess isn't even really a joke. He's making a statement that YMS is contributing to the normalization of fucking animals, okay? Now, I maintain my position that YMS should not go and fucking fight with Null in the comments of a YouTube video or any Reddit post related to it or anything like that. Like, he should absolutely not, like, literally pick that fight. He can just ignore that, right? But ultimately, it's not that he was just trying to defend fucking Kuro the Wolf. He was in there because he was called out. That was my mistake. That's why the context was added back in.
Oh, he makes the claim that Adam is part of the growing normalization for dogs.
Why is it okay for Rob to make an entire edited propaganda video against me? That's just like a buzz salad, word salad meme. But my response calling him out in the comments section is what crossed the line. Okay, because you just went on an angry tangent, straight up lying about him. If you had clips and clips and clips and clips and clips of Rob's Media talking about the ethics of fucking, you know, distributing or sharing pictures with minors, and then you made those claims, right? Like, if you had anything to work with there at all whatsoever, but what you did was just a bad faith smear tactic when you were mad. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, actually, it's clearly a social experiment. I think what you did is super fucked up, and that is absolutely where it crosses the line. I think people are allowed to make observations of quotes that you've made and actually defenses of things that you still kind of argue to this day, right? I think that people are allowed to have assumptions about you because of the things that you say online. I think that the things that you said about Rob were absolutely absurd, and that obviously shapes my perspective and why I've critiqued you. That's literally the only place where I use the word gooner. Is it gooner? Oh, groomer in the comment section on his own video. Yeah, okay, but like now he's defending that he only referred to Rob as groomer by saying groomer-like behavior, and I think he directly referred to him as a groomer too. I don't remember that for a matter of fact, but he didn't say it in the stream. It's like, well, yeah, you said it in a comment section And then when like the 24 hours set in and you saw all the heavy critique of you, well, the next time you went live and talked about it, you didn't call him a groomer that time. It's like, am I supposed to give you a handshake for that? Do you get like the King of Charitability award because you've changed your position? Or again, dude, again, what we're talking about, I actually have to pull it up just for context, because I don't think that everyone is fully aware of what happened, and I'm not going to blur it for the VOD. We're going to let this one ride. All right, this is what I keep talking about here, because he keeps making this argument that it's like a fucking social experiment. Here is him explaining the social experiment directly in the comments, if you want to call it that, and then making a double down statement. Ready? So, not enough people know that you're directing to images on the internet through your YouTube channel by all caps anger posting with a child audience. Again, that's wild assumption, where you describe pornographic images in detail and show images on the screen telling them how to access it with hypocrisy shining through here as well. And since you're inevitably going to whine about whether or not that statement is accurate, here is the most charitable version for you, a courtesy you do not offer others. You are at the absolute very least, so this is his defense, right? A detailed description of pornographic material that you deem to be immoral. Keep in mind, this is a fully fledged, fully realized argument he's putting out. It's not just you send porn to my, you send porn to my. He is like engaging in like high levels of detail why exactly he thinks this is deplorable behavior. An image showing what the page looks like, instructions on how to find and access it. You uploaded this video and specifically left the box unchecked that would have ensured only people age 18 plus would be able to access it by signing into their accounts on YouTube. You at the absolute very least intentionally made your video accessible to children, where you describe feral gay lion furry pornography and real life sex acts with myself and a black person, not sure why race is relevant to you, and how to find and access it with an image on your screen. You choose to make it accessible to children, which you know your audience has an overrepresentation of because you make YouTube drama videos. You know this, you can't be stupid and that you don't know this. Now again, the major hypocrisy here was that YMS had like a porn tutorial on how to find like cartoon hentai in his videos, which I assume would be much more likely to be like, I don't know, click on. It's fucking cartoons, dude. You can't call this out
tweet on
and then have
DeOrio.
like you pulling up a cartoon porn site with blurred out results talking about cartoon porn.
Get ready for YMS iconic wrist pain.
But so this is his like defense with his fully realized argument. And then after this, after the you're gonna whine about this, so let me give you the real context, he follows that up with, this is objectively immoral, irresponsible groomer behavior. It is way more degenerate than anything you've accused me of by far, and you deserve every bit of what you would dish out onto anyone else for the same action. Seriously, imagine if I did the same thing. You would absolutely be calling attention to it and sending your 13-year-old audience to harass me. You absolutely would not care about the excuses. You would absolutely, in your own words, connect the dots. All right, that's it. Thanks for wasting 5 hours of my life during the busiest week of the year. Crazy coincidence. My arm hurts, but it was worth it to expose you as a degen. Jesus Christ. Log off forever. I genuinely can't see how you should be able to show your face online after this. So, just to be clear, when he tries to like retroactively make this like a response calling him out, that's what crossed the line. I only use this in his videos. My entire point of using language and sending porn to my was to illustrate, removing context and detail. Fuck you. That's not why you did it. You were really mad, and then your Reddit atheist brain took over, and that retroactively became the argument. But unfortunately, the screenshots are still there. That was obviously your position. Now that it doesn't look as good, feel free to backtrack or whatever. And even if it wasn't, still fuck you. Okay? Rob's got literally nothing on the back burner that would even allege to that type of behavior. Groomer again, like, where's the other one? I'm seriously invested in canceling you, I think was another comment. It's like, yeah, I don't buy this. I don't believe you. But even if that was the case, even if like the 1% of me that could see where you're coming from and actually, I guess, have that charitability for you, it's still fuck you, right? He doubled down on the accusation anyway, yeah. Again, like when you write, hey, this is what you're gonna say, so I'm gonna head that off with this, and then say something worse afterwards, it's very hard to walk something like that back, and I'm not gonna be affording you the opportunity. The only difference between Rob and what I did is that I left the full context with details in the exact same space as I made those remarks. The full context within that very comment thread. Even on Twitter, the full context is what the quote tweet is responding to. Rob's video is intentionally withholding context because he knows that the full context doesn't paint me as an abuser. And again, the full context is you're showing the full context, and then you're saying that it's worse than anything that you've even been accused of, anything that you've done, right? So again, this isn't really easy. I don't really see where you're trying to go, like where you think this makes you look good. I didn't make an edited propaganda video. I guess we'll find out how propaganda it is when we find even more clips to talk about, and I'm sure we'll be reading those responses to how that's also propaganda. I guess my videos weren't terrible because he only left this one comment, so I guess he kind of has made amends with the situation. I didn't make an edited propaganda video again, but like your response to me is also really difficult too. Where is this? I didn't make an edited propaganda video. Yeah, sure. Okay, you didn't make an edited YouTube commentary drama video. But when you responded to me on the YMS Highlights channel that you don't own,
Read that.
apparently, you posted this and then you like talked about me. And if you're noticing something while we watch this, it's just you yapping for an hour and 37 minutes. And you think that's better? You think this is better when you're talking about like, he's like bragging about how he saved my video segment that hadn't come out yet, so he can't like pretend it didn't exist or something. Is that what it is? But then he doesn't show a single fucking clip from what I say. Yeah, look at this. This is so crazy.
This guy that made this video, that's what pisses me off. And now fucking Nicholas DeOrio is responding on his stream, which I've archived, by the way, so don't pretend you didn't say the shit, where he's saying like, dude, my response got more views than your video. You think I'm not gonna post that? What are you talking about? Oh, Rob's not a journalist. I'm not a journalist. Like things that like ethically.
This guy's like, hey, look, I actually have your video downloaded. So I'm just going to tell my audience what I perceive you've said the entire time and not showcase any of your own words to my chat. Like, okay, fine. I mean, you have the right to do that, but I also don't really respect these arguments if that's how you're going to go about it. If I have to sit here and show every fucking word of everything you've ever said and read through hours of your stupid messages, and then you don't even pull up a clip of what you have a problem with on your stream responding to me, I don't really know if I'm supposed to care about this. You did nuke this. Yeah, I nuked the segment, but I told everyone it was coming out. It wasn't like an intent to hide it. But again, I don't care if anyone's downloaded or fucking like kept a personal copy of one of my segments. But to say that you have it and you're just not going to show it to people when you're arguing what I said is crazy. Because that's a standard that I assume he wouldn't hold he doesn't hold himself to, that I guess he has for other people. I didn't make an edited propaganda video about him despite knowing exactly how I could do it to make my point even clearer. So he's like, I actually, when I called Rob a person who sends nudes to minors, which is demonstrable. Like, I don't know anything about Carol, because that was what he said. It wasn't just that he showed them a way to get it or played censored pornography on his video or something. It was he sends nudes to minors, involving like implying like a personal connection there, like a personal message being sent. But whatever, that's just my perspective. I didn't tag him on YouTube. He could have been even meaner. He could have even been more defaming. I didn't tag him on Twitter. I didn't even mention his username or show any identifying information in my screenshots. It's absolutely ridiculous that I'm being treated as the aggressor in this situation when all I've done is shine a mirror on Rob that reflects 10% of what he does on a daily basis. And I think this is an actually good argument if you're as stupid as YMS. Because YMS is operating from the position that he's done nothing wrong, right? YMS doesn't think he's done a fucking thing wrong, so he can then justify any ontologically evil action, because anyone who would do that to him is deserving of equal or greater treatment too. The issue is that YMS is getting called out, and he doesn't really know why he's getting called out and why the things he said are giving people bad vibes, bad juju, you know, criticizing him, criticizing the takes that he made, that he's taking personal offense to that, I guess. And yeah, if somebody was just straight up defaming you with absolutely no through line, I wouldn't be as harsh on the response here. But the reality is YMS looks fucking terrible in that video, outside of that video, in his own responses and the things that he's still currently arguing, that he doesn't know that. He doesn't rationalize that. So it kind of breaks this whole thing down. Yeah. Safe to say EFAP 1. I saw a little bit of the EFAP stuff. I need to look at more of it. I was initially going to wait till Rob did his segment, but at this point, I don't know. I've been itching to talk about it. I wanted to do it all in one day, not to just wait for Rob, but I didn't want to have to do 2 more segments. So I guess this is going to be half of one. It's absolutely ridiculous that I'm being treated as an aggressor in this situation when all I've done is shine a mirror on Rob, but you're not shining a mirror on Rob. You're just defaming him, which I don't believe is what he did. There are things that are wrong in Rob's video. There are things that he's had to correct from his video, but ultimately, I don't think he's like defamed you about any of the significant points that matter. I still do sincerely believe he crossed the line by showing the username of the page that includes explicit sexual material of myself. Okay, but you have a NSFW Twitter that is not age gated on X, right? Anybody can navigate to that page. Anybody can click that URL. Anybody can stumble into that. Like, you dress up like a fucking animal, okay? again, this is just like, why don't you put your fucking Twitter on private and age verify people who follow it? You have your furry account, and then you have your furry fuck account. Why don't you private your furry fuck account so people can't navigate to that account? Oh, problem solved. Again, your defense for all this is, I followed all the proper age verification on the sites, so I've taken all the necessary steps. Well, then what's the issue with the username being known? What is the issue with the username being made aware of if you've taken all the right steps to prevent people from looking at it? Rob said, sorry, still waiting on something before I finish editing. No problem. I wish Twitter was more censored. And again, Twitter is a 13+ website, so whatever. I still sincerely believe he crossed the line by showing a username of a page. This is like if you critique Pro Jared and you mention Sin Jared, and you're like, he has this Sin Jared Tumblr sex blog where he like shares nudes with fans or whatever. Now, that's probably worse than anything you're going to find from YMS. Like, no age verification nude sharing is not an allegation that's been levied against him. But imagine if Pro Jared came out and he goes, oh, you're sending porn to minors. You're telling people where to find my Sin Jared account. It's like, you're a fucking e-celebrity with a public-facing porn account, and you don't think people are going to know about it? You don't think that's going to make waves around? People aren't going to find that? Propaganda is funny too, yeah. I still sincerely believe he crossed the line by showing the username of the page that has that in material, especially on an all ages video. Again, not just the username, but descriptions of the images, along with a call for his audience to go there if he wants to see them. Obviously, he's not like, hey, minors, you should go check this out. But again, you're assuming a high percentage of his audience is like 13-year-olds. Do you think 13-year-olds are sitting on Kiwi farms all day?
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio.
I feel like he's a bit more niche than like the average everyday drama YouTuber, but I don't know. And again, I don't think that my audience is majority 13-year-olds either. I wouldn't concede that talking point if you were talking about me, and there are more of them. There's so many factors here that make this uniquely unethical. Okay, but why does it make it grooming? Why are you saying that he sent nudes to minors? What exactly about his criticism makes it necessary to direct traffic from his audience to go to the page? I still don't have an answer for this. Why was it so important for him to keep the username along with the descriptions of sex? Again, I don't know why I'm expected to blur a public-facing Twitter profile. If you're not even going to blur the fucking... If you're not even going to put your shit on private so people can't navigate to this, because I'm pretty sure if you private an account, can you go see links there? Hold on. Wait. You might be able to. That might actually be a thing. Yeah, I think you can still see it. Let me try... I still don't have an answer for this. Why was it so important for him to keep the username along with descriptions of sex acts? I feel like if I was going to have an NSFW thing and tell everybody about how like fucking locked down I am and how fucking impossible it is for minors to find it, I would just operate entirely in a private account's pinned tweet, and I would ask for at least basic age verification before I let people in. If you're like super serious about this, if you're gonna like succumb to the fact that there's nothing you can do, people are gonna like find things online, as long as it's not you, like then maybe, yeah, then you wouldn't do that. But if your position is like everything needs to be locked down 100% and do every single thing possible to prevent it from happening, I believe that would probably be the easiest possible way to do it. These aren't cartoons, these are real people, which by the way, also, oh god, why does he keep saying that? If they were cartoons, wouldn't be more likely to look for it? Dude, these aren't cartoons, they're real people. What this is like an IDubsian justification for why he directed his audience towards hentai pornography in an age-restricted video. And it's just like a weird defense here, because obviously he's preempting the fact that they got this guy fucking red-handed doing the exact same thing. But it's because it's him getting blasted in the butt by a rhinoceros, right? This is a bad thing. But when you're you're flexing the term minors, and you're like, yeah, you know, I might have sent my audience to illustrated fucking cartoon pornography, but that's not the same thing, right? This topic has been in the back of my mind since the Big Bungie mentioned it in his Vosh coverage. Started working on this video while I was finishing up the Denims nuke, really. Yeah, I think I have the clip. I can show it to you. It's like, this guy is sitting here on this fucking horse, and he's defending it preemptively because he knows that my counter to this is just to play the clip of him doing this. And his defense is, well, they're cartoons and not real people.
Make love, not war. Why can't they use a professional
This is an unage-restricted video.
movie, but
Now, is it, like, I've heard that he blurred this after we critiqued him on it. Is that true?
budget for CG for something that's actually worthwhile? Like,
So this is him giving a tutorial to, I guess, presumably all those motherfuckers into, like, literally typing it into the search bar. I guess I didn't know that was a porn website.
none of these are what I wanted. See, they put aliens in there too. There's one with a demigorgon.
So he's like listing these things. Like there's blurred porn on the screen in some fucking parts.
The top one they have like weirdly human eyes. It's not bad animation though. Holy shit, one of these is 25 minutes long?
It's probably a distress signal coming from this ship. What the hell?
Now, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's the case, is it still unedited, or can this still be viewed in the Prey video that he posted to 148,000 people? Is it in here still? I think it is. It would be right around here.
Plug is delivered.
Is that the girl from, yeah.
Love, not war. Why can't they use a professional movie budget for CG for something that's actually worthwhile, like pornography?
Epic edit moment. Why is one letter blurred now? If this isn't bad, and this is not a big deal, who blurred that letter? Who blurred one single letter in this video? What else is different from this cut?
None of these are what I wanted. See?
Again, this is all just blurred porn.
They put aliens in there too. There's one with a demigorgon.
So there's nothing else here that's modified. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy, I think. It's like, who do you think... What is this? A Samus Aran hentai?
The hell?
What the hell? Oh, is Samus Aran a Nintendo character that's marketed to children? And I think I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry to all the Nintendo warriors who are currently watching me right now, who claim that all the targeted demographics for all these Bing Bing Wahoo games is the 40-year-old men who love playing them. They're making these games for 12-year-olds, dude. They're making these games for kids. You just like them, which is fine. I like them too. I like playing the occasional Pokemon, okay? But like, they're not making them for fucking 5-year-old men. They're not making them for, you know, he blurred the E. Yeah, why would you only blur one letter, too? That's so weird. That wasn't blurred, obviously, when I recorded this when I downloaded it and fucking stripped it to put on the thing, or screen record. I don't remember which one, but yeah. Why was it important for him to direct traffic to the page? What about it was bullying you. That was the intent. The intent was to bully you, to make fun of you. Saying, look at this guy, he's got crazy porn or whatever. And again, if adults navigate to that page or whatever and engage with it that way, because I obviously, like, okay. If Rob is talking to the idea of adults saying, if you want to check this out, it's right fucking there and then, I don't think Rob was writing that part thinking, I can't wait to show all the kids this guy dressed up like a ferret getting, like, I don't think that, like, that's the reasonable interpretation of what Rob wanted at all whatsoever. I don't think that his intent was to expose into pornography, if that's what you're getting out here. But yeah, clearly you understand this if you're blurring it yourself. I'm blurring it because I don't want my video to go down for TOS violations. There's no ethical or moral implication to this. If I was really that worried about exposing people to any of this content, I wouldn't be saying it in front of 4,000 fucking people unblurred. That's the true litmus test of my takes. If I'll say it to my audience without preparing anything to show on my screen or whatever, which I actually got, maybe I did prepare this a little bit, but I'm talking about it now. All right, I'm worried that my shit's gonna get struck down. That is literally my only worry here. I accept the fact that a bunch of teenagers or whatever are going to watch my video and hear me say fuck a lot, okay? I don't make my content with kids in mind. I actually would prefer if they all would just leave, okay? But I don't age restrict my videos. Now, why is that? Because I like making money. Because I actually don't want to deboost every single video I post. I put like the Rob's Media style viewer discretion is advised thing for you right now, okay? This is not suitable for all ages, but ultimately, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing here. Every decision that I make about censorship isn't because that I need to like remove this for some moral reason. At least the vast majority aren't. It's entirely based off of YouTube's current monetization policy. My entire position on like slurs is entirely based on YouTube's current monetization policy. That's why the N-word and the C-word are both referred to as such, even though the C-word is not typically considered as bad as the N-word. On YouTube, it is. I treat them the same. But yeah, that's just my position on this. I mean, I don't give a flying fuck. I'm not making content for kids. I don't follow those rules that you've decided. I don't believe you're a bad person. I think we disagree on what lines were crossed and who crossed them first. I think there's a part of you that knows that Rob's video was made irresponsibly. Otherwise, your video would not have corrected the same mistakes that he made. Again, this is entirely based off monetization policies. The commentary community would be a better place if it held their own to the same standards it holds other to. Well, if I hear Rob start going on podcasts defending the concept of like, I guess pornography would be your comparison, I would absolutely be holding Rob to those same standards. Believe me, there'd be fucking 3 streams on him. If he said that like pee enthusiasts shouldn't go. If Rob's Media got on stream and said that people who have pee or AIC maybe would be the best comparison here, I shouldn't go to jail or something. I don't even know how you can make a 1-to-1. That's certainly not a 1-to-1 comparison, but like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be saying the same shit right now. Yeah, 100%. Here, dude, I think that his take about the movie was stupid. I think I said as much in this video, right? I don't think that Rob is like unfallible. I just think that all the core arguments that matter make you look really bad. In context or out of context. When you added more context in your stream, I came to the same conclusion. The more you talk about it, the less I'm convinced by at least what you're trying to get me to say. So this will be my last big comment for a while since I'm getting second PR. And again, I wish you luck with that. I think you got that. Because you DM'd me after briefly, but that was 9 days ago. Let's see if he stuck to it. No. Well, I guess so. I guess maybe that's a while for YMS, but yes, no, he did make another one of these. So this is a new video. Now that I've responded to the stuff that he put in my comment section, I do want to take a look at the Nikandros stuff because this is obviously clips I've never seen before.
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate it.
I have literally no
You should
idea
look up
what
his
to expect
cameo on
here.
Catechirus, who arguably has a bigger child audience.
I don't even know what
It's
that
crazy.
is. What is Catechirus? Catechirus? YMS explains
In
his
fact, I
comment.
don't even think that any furries like him. Let's ask one. Oi, Adam.
All right, E621 spy.
Oh my god! Dude, this guy just keeps blurting it out.
Spyro underscore the underscore dragon.
Is this in Nikandros' video? Am I spoiling Nikandros' video? Is this a spoiler?
In fact, I don't even think that any furries like him. Let's ask one. Oi, Adam.
All right, E621 Spyro underscore the underscore dragon space order colon score enter.
Dude, you're making a tutorial on how to find porn! This guy just reads out the whole URL.
What?
See, it doesn't do anything for him. Oh, what's that? You want to sell me a trip?
That was funny. I was requested to provide...
Again, I don't know the context of the channel, so I'm not going to say he was sending porn to minors, but like I do think this is insane.
just a video of me like acting as though I was doing something else and then interrupted by like Kadikarus and then just
Again, it's like two fucking Spyro
going
camera.
like what and like acknowledging the camera and fourth wall breaking or something. And so I was just left to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, again, this guy's making, like, dude, this guy goes in depth and that's the big thing to take away from this. This guy goes in depth and literally has given, like, direct tutorials on how to find this material. But it's different because I guess it's only cartoons, which I guess kids hate now. I forgot that kids are only watching these murder documentaries, dude.
And so I just
Kids these days, they just watch the fucking brutal decapitation of Gabby Petito or something.
like, oh, I don't have anything Spyro related to show, so I'm just gonna make a furry porn joke. And then I recorded the part and I was like, E621 Spyro or whatever.
Maybe he does think that cartoons are for adult, but I mean, again, in the back of my head, I'm just thinking like, yeah, cartoons, kids are more likely to be watching cartoons. Yeah.
Just threw that in the video. I didn't know what context it was going to be used in, and that's what I gave Cat.
Sorry to everybody who loves, I mean, I do like the Spider-Man movie, but like,
Then
I do think it's insufferable when people are like, I'm not going to give Into the Spider-Verse a chance because it's a cartoon. That does personally bother me.
I was like,
As a Marvel shill and a Spider-Man enjoyer, that pisses me off.
how old is the character?
Oh, no!
Then I was like, how old is the character?
Oh, no!
of Spyro? It's like, I didn't even know. Like, I don't, it's not one of my like regular searches or anything. I was just kind of doing a joke for a video.
Okay. Well, that's, yeah. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I guess Rob's a groomer or something or whatever.
Welcome, I'm Nikandros.
This guy's got a really good voice, man.
If you're wondering where that big video is that I've been hyping up, I'll talk about that later.
This is the Mudahar man. I think his video blew the fuck up, right? Probably like 750,000. Let me see. Wasn't Mudahar's first time. Oh, I was close. Almost 700,000. Very good.
later. Rob's Media released a video recently showing a bunch of instances where Your Movie Sucks, YMS, or...
The thing is, it's like, he's like, Rob's Media's video is bad. Rob's Media's video has problems. But if you took out all the parts that weren't related to, like, bestiality allegations and lolicon, or, like, bestiality defenses in lolicon, I think the video would be better. Like, all the stuff that YMS hates about the video are like the strongest parts of the video. If you remove all the preamble about fur, whatever the fuck, and whatever convention and whatever movie he reviewed because he's an atheist who hates Christianity, I think the video is better. But like all the issues that anyone would actually have a problem with seem pretty good.
Adam has criticized laws criminalizing zoophilia. According to Adam, people shouldn't go to jail for engaging in what he calls non-abusive sexual contact with animals.
And keep in mind, everything you're about to hear Nikandros allege here, you're going to hear me read about for like 45 fucking minutes.
And he reiterated the stance in his response to Rob's video.
And my position has always been that even though I would like it not to happen, even though I don't like that thing, you know, I have no interest in it, and I would prefer if other people don't do it. If you give me a world, you know, where no people are doing that versus a world where people are doing that, I would choose the world where no people are doing that, right? That's always been my position. However, I do find it stupid that many of our legal policies regarding this issue are not based on the welfare of the animal.
He brings up how humans regularly make sexual contact with animals, not for pleasure, but for the purpose of breeding them as part of animal husbandry or agriculture.
I don't even want to repeat it because I'm going to have to fucking remove myself saying it. But his argument about like, dude, I don't know.
Somebody is doing it but has a different thought in their head. If that's not their thought, but their thought is instead...
He's like arguing that like the only reason why we have to... why we have these laws in place is because if someone has blank with an animal, right? The courts wouldn't be able to understand if the animal liked it or was being abused, was like the clip. And it's like, that's not why that's not why those laws exist. That's insane.
Oh, this is hot, or whatever. People believe that person should be in jail. Which, if you believe that, that's fine, but just admit that you want them to be in jail.
Oh, you want animal fuckers to be in jail? Checkmate, liberal.
Jail for a thought crime, right? You want them to be in...
This is what I mean when I say that any issue in Rob's Media's video doesn't matter. It does matter. He should absolutely correct any inconsistencies, no matter how minor, in his inevitable response, and I expect him to do so, right? All the things that anyone would reasonably have an issue with YMS about are pretty good. You know, like, it's pretty good. Like, if you're watching the video and you're hung up on his take about, like, the fucking movie or something, it's like, yeah, that's a genuine thing that I think is shitty in the video, whatever. But, like, I mean, people are coming here for this shit. This is what people were coming to the video for.
Jail because of what was happening in their brain, not because of the welfare of the animal, right? If it was because of the welfare of the animal, then you would also believe that other people should be in jail for doing the same thing. Again, not even considering the meat industry. Not even considering that.
So his stance has...
Oh, you think that fucking animals is bad? Well, I'll have you know, as a vegan, I'm going to be judging you for your hypocrisy. And like all of society looks at you and goes like, this guy's a fucking freak. I think this is why like 2015 debate culture had to die. All right, there were times when we would engage in conversation with this about like the ethics and morality of incest and bestiality, and now we look at these. This is how I look. I just look at these people as like, okay, you're just like, you're a fucking crazy freak. You're an insane person. What's wrong with you? Why are you like this? Like this is entirely unserious.
Always been that he's against zoophilia and bestiality, but didn't he say that animals can consent to sex with humans?
People have asked me, how is it possible for an animal to consent to a human being?
That's a good question. I want to hear the answer to that one.
And my answer was the same way it consents to another animal. Now, people have interpreted that as me.
And this is so much more damning than Rob's video because it's clips from like a week ago. You could just take his response and do the same thing with it, and he still sounds equally as bad. That's like this is the issue.
Saying
These are from this is a clip from a week ago.
the same way it consents to another animal.
This fucking no, it's not. No, the video came out 9 days ago, right? No, it was 5 days ago. Yeah, this is probably like within the last week and a half.
Now, people have interpreted that as me saying animals want to have sex with human beings and therefore it's all good or whatever. People have interpreted that as me saying all actions, you know.
And someone's quoting my iconic catchphrase. That's not the right answer, Adam, because it's not. It's just not. Dude, there are like so many easy things you could possibly say here, but he's so lost in his own stupid debate head. And that's the most charitable way. You want to hear charitability from me? Yeah, maybe you're you're a stuck in 2015 turbo loser debate bro. But like if I'm removing that charitability, it looks a lot worse.
Sexually towards animals are permissible because of that. That is not my position. Things that are a part of our common knowledge in pop culture, like America's Funniest Home Videos, right? There'll be a clip of like, a woman fell down a hill, and then the dog.
Jesus, you really like America's Funniest Home Videos, Ethan. Thank you.
The dog barked at me very suggestively. What was I supposed to do?
But that's what his argument sounds like, dude.
Dog just starts humping her. And so my response is the dog not consenting to some sort of sexual act by doing a sexual act on the human, right? Sure, it's not informed consent.
I don't even remember hearing this part.
Right? And
I sat there for like 3 hours watching
that
this.
doesn't mean, oh, dog's humping you, therefore you can do...
If you've been fighting for 10 years, and every time you have your argument, people call you a rapist, animal fucking abusing pedophile or something. I'm not saying that they do. This is a hypothetical on a different person. Let's say that you're really passionate about your argument, but every time you make it, even though you know you're right, the entire internet calls you like an animal rapist, pedophile, rapist, jerk-off man, right? Would you ever start to go, maybe the issue here is my phrasing. Maybe the issue here is my argument. No, it's the whole internet that's wrong. Everyone's just way too gosh darn uptight these days. It's like, dude, a decade of this, he doesn't realize why this sounds bad. A decade of this, he does not know why this sounds bad.
Doesn't mean, oh...
Genuine question, if he apologized and disavowed all of this, would that change your attitude towards this? Is he too far gone? Here's the problem. I don't think you can apologize for positions this guy obviously has. What he is saying in here, the defenses of the arguments he's made 10 years ago, are things that are not applicable to coexist with me in my space. Like my space, what I have the ability to control. Not YouTube, not the commentary community, my space. Right? If this guy comes out and disavows this after defending it 2 weeks ago, if he came out and disavowed this was 10-year-old statements, I was fucking retarded here. Yeah, you're allowed to say crazy shit in the past. If you come out and say in current day, these are your positions, and they still sound fucking crazy, I don't think you can just say sorry 2 weeks later, and I'm just going to wipe that. Because I think these are your positions, and I think these positions are crazy. And I am judging you for these positions, because that is my right to do so. And you saying sorry does not revoke that judgment call on current day.
Oh, dog's humping you, therefore you can do something else to it. I never said that. It's not informed consent. It's not my standard for consent, but it seems possible, right? It seems like they have their own version.
So, Anna...
It would sound fake. I try to be very careful with apologies, right? Because most people just don't accept them. They demand them, but they don't accept them. They treat apologies like a humiliation ritual. During the I'm Alex drama, I thought it was important to not accept these apologies, but treat them as apologies. You've made a mistake, everyone's calling you out for it, but you're never going to get that apology again. You're never going to have this happen if they just assume you're doing it as a humiliation ritual. So I do put like apologies, corrections, all these things do matter. It's specific use cases. It's like, if he apologized day one, I would treat that more significantly than if he apologized day 15 after fucking 8 days of defending it against every single person. I don't want to be that person who never accepts apologies or never accepts corrections. But I mean, I think this guy's a liar based off of stuff that I've seen him say. And in this instance, I know these are his positions. He's told me that already.
Animals can consent to sex with humans, but merely being able to consent isn't enough. The animal would need to be able to give informed consent, which they can't, and so therefore Adam finds zoophilia immoral. But he questions why artificial insemination, etc. is illegal, but bestiality that doesn't harm the animal is criminal. There's many angles from which you can criticize Adam's deep
Many! There are... You could spend hours deconstructing why this guy is a fucking idiot. And this is also why morons can't be thought leaders. Okay? This guy is a fucking moron. For all intents and purposes. This guy's absolutely fucking insane. Alright? And it is crazy that, like, unfortunately, that's what the internet is. You're either a really smart guy or you're a really stupid person. And you're placed directly adjacent to each other.
Philosophical thinking here. In the case of Rob's media, he compared Adam to Vosh, since Vosh liked to debate the ethics of pedophilia before it was revealed that he had Lolly on his computer, and more recently it came out that he had tried to groom a minor in 2017. So Rob is suspecting that Adam is secretly a zoophile or pro-zoophile.
And every time that Vosh argument comes up, despite the fact that it could be fucking true, it could be real, and I've never heard him defend it or whatever, I've never seen scrolling proof that those screenshots are real. Like, ever. So I'm not taking that as fact. Even though all the shit about Vosh, even though the fucking, the goblin fucking short stack porn or something, I've never seen those DMs scroll. I have no idea if those came from a fucking legitimate source.
Behind the scenes, but Adam claims that's not the case at all.
Like, you're trying to say that I'm bad faith. I'll point that out about Vosh. I don't even like that guy.
He's never held that position. So, is Adam...
That's what took down Chud Street. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that screenshot, too. YouTube's got a zero tolerance policy.
like Vosh? Is he a zoophile or a zoophilia
He acknowledged it. I didn't see the clip then, I apologize.
supporter? He says he isn't, but I think Adam is in denial. I think he's suffering from repressed memories. I found this old videotape which I thought was interesting. Let's check it out.
So now I assume these are all the new clips.
I'm not a supporter.
Well, not new. These are the old. These are the new old clips.
Of animal.
Dude, this guy is insane. This guy's just got some fucking website where you can type in a quote and you'll find every time you ever said it.
I'm not a supporter of animal.
That's good. All right, guys, that's the segment. Thank you guys for coming out here. We finally got what we needed. Oh wait, there's more to this clip I'm hearing.
I'm a supporter of consensual zoophilia. I don't.
Okay, so that's the worst clip, but we're gonna let it play out because that's okay. So that's the worst clip. So that's a bad one.
Don't encourage it. I'm not gonna convince someone to try it. I've never tried it. I don't intend on ever trying it, but I recognize that people exist that will live their whole lives with an urge to do something like that, and meanwhile, while every other person on the planet gets to fulfill their eternal psychological, emotionally / physically driven urges.
You know why this is different than someone who just debates edgy topics online, right? Like again, we'll use Destiny as an example. He does the incest stuff. I've never seen anything that would indicate that Destiny is into incest or any of that. Maybe it's because he's a crazy sexual degenerate. You'd think differently, but I think mileage may vary. There are people who have these conversations about these topics that I would never at any point suspect for any bad behavior or bad thoughts or bad. Like, engaging with these arguments doesn't inherently make you bad, right? But this guy clearly thinks about this a lot. It sounds like almost a principled position for him, or at least it was at one point or something. Like, there are so many clips of him talking about this. It's impossible to forget that this guy's a literal furry who talks about wanting to fuck a humanoid version of a lion from The Lion King. I forgot a Scar or something. I don't know. Still, like, makes, like, this is like a thing that's like knowledgeable about him, right? It's impossible to remove him from the fact that, like, this guy dresses up like an animal, is attracted to humanoid animals, right? Has these positions and argues them that he's coming from a faith of, like, debate, while simultaneously saying these are his actual positions. Like, there's an inherent almost bias here that is kind of dark, I guess. Maybe bias is the wrong term. But, like, yeah, this is not the same as the person who just casually jumps on and has an incest debate on stream to showcase his debate prowess. This is something that at least I can gather from the clips that I've seen, he probably thinks about a lot offline too.
these other people on the planet that are attracted to the wrong thing somehow aren't able to do that, despite not harming animals in any way.
Like, there's nobody challenging him on this.
Aren't able.
Maybe someone wrote something in chat is my most charitable interpretation, but he's just breaking into a song and dance about it.
These other people on the planet that are attracted to the wrong thing somehow aren't able to do that, despite not harming animals in any way that they wouldn't be harmed through any other non-sexual activity.
Grizzly just said this. What is this? It's referenced by Ethan a lot.
And he portrayed zoophiles as victims of societal injustice. I'm going to give him some mercy. This video is from 10 years ago, but no matter what, he's lied to his audience.
This is the fun thing, right? Yes, this is a 10-year-old clip, but it's actually good that it's 10 years, because now we could paint a larger picture of when you started talking about this online. It's like, yeah, that's a bad clip. Maybe it's not as bad now. It's a bad thing that he said a while ago. It's like, oh, but what has he said recently? Like, as recent as 2 weeks ago.
He either lied about never having supported zoophilia, or he's lying right now, and he actually does still support it, but he's simply learned to hide his true beliefs.
And I'm going to mention again, we are going to be hearing all of Adam's responses directly after watching this video. Keep that in mind.
What about his stance on animals' capacity for consent?
To suggest that there's no such thing as consensual human/animal sex is to be the most naive person on the fucking planet. Dogs try to hump your fuck.
It's every take that we've already heard him say, unchained. It just seems like a natural evolution of his argument. I've heard this argument already. He just stops halfway through.
Sex is to be the most naive. Suggest that there's no such thing as consensual human/animal sex is to be the most naive person on the fucking planet. Dogs try to hump your fucking leg. That's all the evidence I need.
Like, does this not recontextualize the other arguments? I'm supposed to be charitable when I hear him talk about it, but he's repeating the same talking points, just like 2 degrees of removed.
I don't have to have sex with an animal to know that animals don't have the same type of reservations that human beings do when it comes to sex. If it feels good, they're probably okay with it. If they try to bite you or run away, that's probably a sign that they're not okay with it.
So this is like literally 2 barks mean yes. Like, this is actually like deranged, insane behavior.
So the argument...
And if you knew that clips like this existed, why would you ever have an intellectual this is a moral philosophical debate. Maybe for some people, but I don't know if it is for you, man. I don't know if it's for you.
That, oh, you can't tell if it's consenting or not, even though it's clearly enjoying itself. Okay. Such bullshit. I can't believe people. I can't believe how much of...
Is this what, like, Socrates envisioned? Is this Dude, this is the true moral philosophical conundrum.
Okay. Such bullshit. I can't believe people. I can't believe how much of society is just dictated by people saying, I don't like it, or ick, that's gross, or they're not a part of my tribe. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting to me.
It's disgusting to him.
Human-animal sex is not nearly as disgusting as the mentality that discriminates against people who have never abused animals that are attracted to animals.
I'd like to point out that this is not a live stream VOD. It is a highlight. He thought he was really spitting here.
Holy shit! Dude, Tipster's watching this being like, holy fuck, dude. Thank God. Thank God this isn't me in Resident Evil defending something terrible on Nick's stream right now. Thank God it's Silent Hill, it's YMS, it's animals, okay?
Yeah.
I thought this was Resident Evil for like the first couple of... I gotta play Silent Hill 2. It's sitting on my fucking desk. I haven't had time to play it.
Sure, if somebody was having sex with an animal and they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal's enjoying it.
Dude, this is bad. But it's so funny because it's the natural evolution of everything he's currently arguing, just with additional
highlight. He thought he was really spitting here.
I'm sure if somebody was having sex with an animal and they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal's enjoying it in court.
It is a highlight. He thought he was really spitting here.
I'm sure if somebody was having sex with an animal and they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal's enjoying it in court.
You see, like, you're hearing the exact same arguments. You could won these in court. Remember, the whole thing I got hung up on when I was hearing him argue that over the other gameplay is when he's talking about the concept of court, he's saying, like, that's why we have bestiality laws. And now I hear this version of that. It makes me think, like, I was being too charitable.
And they were enjoying it and they got caught, I'm sure they would be able to prove that the animal's enjoying it in court.
Like, surely he's going to disavow all these positions in here, right?
If they're allowed to just do it and record it again or something, I'm sure they'd be able to.
And this is the guy who's acting like he's teaching Rob a God's honest lesson. Do you find that appalling and anger-inducing? That this guy is sitting here on his he's sitting here trying to act like he's doing Rob a favor by holding a mirror up to his face.
Prove it, if that's what they're doing. If somebody's abusing an animal and having sex with it, I am not in favor of that. But I'm just not naive enough to believe that there's no such thing as an animal that can enjoy having sex with a human being. They're just fucking animals. They don't give a shit. They don't have sex and then go, oh, I wonder what he thought about me, or am I really with the right person, or is this what I want to do with my life, or any of the other human psychologically repressed.
I love this Nikandros video because it's like, here are some bad clips. And then he just leaves for like 7 straight minutes while the literal assassination of any remaining career this guy should have plays in the background.
Reservations that we have.
I gotta stop using the word assassination. I don't mean to invoke anything. It's something that's been in my dialogue tree for a while that always pops up in a conversation, and it just feels awkward saying that now after everything that's happened recently.
Psychologically repressed reservations that we have. Animals don't do that. They don't think that far. They just want to. That's all they want
I'm gonna start. All right, I'm changing assassinate to crucify henceforth.
to do.
So in the past he believed that a human standard of consent doesn't apply to animals. Not just that, but he claims there's no evidence that consensual human-animal interactions are psychologically harmful to the animal.
If we gave a shit about animals being psychologically affected, even though there's no evidence to suggest that they would be negatively psychologically affected by consensual, enjoyable sex. Even if there were, you don't put people in jail for leaving a dog in a kennel when it doesn't want to be in a kennel. You don't put people in jail for...
Dude, this is like fucking... God. It literally is. It's every argument from the previous video worse. This feels like AI. Is this video AI? Did somebody fucking create this in a lab? Am I actually getting fucked with right now? Did somebody keep like a 5-day fucking punking on me? It's the same arguments, just worse the whole time.
Feeding an animal the same food kennel when it doesn't want to be in a kennel. You don't put people in jail for feeding an animal the same food over and over again its entire life.
People came after me. They're like, Nick, people have been saying this about YMS for years. You better watch yourself on this. And I'm like, what? They had this clip? Why did they lose? They had this, they had the other clip, they had the other clip. Like, everyone just knows about this? Well, he's a furry, he must love animals. No, it's apparently they knew about all of this or something.
Don't put...
The fuck is wrong with you guys? This is insane.
People in jail for leaving a dog in your back porch with...
He's faced these allegations before. And? What?
You don't put people in jail.
And I know a lot of people. Listen, there have been plenty of YouTubers who've reached out to me and they said they heard these clips for the first time. Okay? And they've known these guys for years, right? Regular drama YouTubers and shit are like, what the fuck is happening to YMS? You know, this guy's like an OG. This guy's an OG, fucking with a G.I. Joe. Yeah, it's a fucking Eminem song. All right. But you know what I mean? Like, everyone, I guess apparently it's like an open secret, but nobody ever saw the evidence? I don't know.
For leaving a dog in your back porch with nowhere to go to the bathroom. Leave it there for like 8 hours.
It's like, dude, the reason why I said that he should come on Half-Baked is because he's good friends with Vega. He's good friends with Tom, apparently. I don't know how close these guys are, but like, everybody knows YMS, right? I had like 3 messages with him in like 5 years, but he's been subscribed to me. I saw since 2020. You know, apparently he's been a community person for a while. I don't know. Everybody knows YMS.
While you're gone to work, come back, and once you see that it pissed itself because...
Good friends with still? Probably. With Vega? Vega probably doesn't even know what happened yet. Dude, Vega's blissfully unaware of all this stuff.
What's the name of
Me and Vega got a running joke
orbiter?
with Tom. I don't know. To be honest, I haven't asked Tom about it.
Nick,
he's been working on a bunch of videos.
YMS skills as a master debater.
Tom during this entire arc was working on the Charlie Kirk shooter video, so I haven't talked to him about any of this shit. But yeah, it's insane. He's a master debater, true.
That had nowhere to go, then you rub their fucking nose in.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Vega has a very we have a running gag. It's like every single time Vega makes a friend or is long-standing friends with somebody, they get into a huge fight with me. Like, he was friends with Elvis, he was friends with Bionic Pig. Like, it just kept happening where, like, I would get into beef with somebody. It would just happen to be one of Vega's mutuals. Like, Bunty King said he couldn't be friends with Vega anymore because of me, which is why Vega did the edit for my video or whatever. Like, it's just like a running gag. So, I mean, Vega's probably, like, completely unfazed at this point. It's been, like, a half decade of trauma.
Go to the bathroom, leave it there for, like, 8 hours while you're gone to work, come back, and once you see that it pissed itself because it had nowhere to go, then you rub their fucking nose in their piss. You don't put people in jail for that, so you shouldn't.
No, but you should put them in jail for raping animals, you fucking freak.
Put people in jail for sucking a dog's dick. Seriously, the world is fucked up. The world is so fucked up. We eat
the world is a mess. The world, it's as bad as it gets.
dog's dick. Seriously, the world is fucked up. The world is so fucked up. We eat and kill animals. We are discriminating against people, and the only reason that people hold a different standard to it is because they're attracted to something that other people aren't. And that is what is absolutely disgusting about this.
Your Honor, this is a philosophical debate. Let it be struck from the record.
Anyway, I'm passionate about it because it's...
Because why? Oh, look, his brain finally, his optic sensor his optic nerve just activated.
Anyway, I'm passionate about it because it's huge discrimination going on right now.
Are you sure there's nothing else behind this passion?
Yeah, dude, his optic nerve just sounded.
I stand by these statements. I don't... If I'm crucified for these statements, then 20 years from now, people will look back at this and be like, wow, I can't believe all these people were that stupid to crucify him for those statements.
Somebody in chat, I'm actually gonna just put this in TTS because my words are not gonna utter the sentence. Let me go to translate. Thank you to the person who typed this out, but I am not here.
Wow, Nick, you spank kids for being bad? How dare you discriminate against me who molest them?
Well, you don't understand, okay? Your argument is fundamentally flawed because, well, a child is a human being. And that makes it different than the animal that's as intelligent as... Okay, whatever.
He literally
Why is Keffels your TTS?
believes that zoophilia will be normalized in 10
I mean, that, dude, again, this is just like... It showcases how broken the argumentation is by this moron. By this moron who's extremely passionate about this extremely niche micro issue, which, not even micro issue, like, apparently it's a major issue for him because he's been talking about it for 10 years.
years, and he's all for it.
I believe that by making these statements that I am on the right side of history, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is a moral philosophical quandary. You can tell by the way that he says that he is on the right side of history.
I believe that by making these statements that I am on the right side of history, is all I'm saying.
He's on the right side of history. So Adam claims he's all
he's on the raped side of history. Dude, okay, all right. This is purely satire. All right, we're not speculating on anyone's real lives here, just for context. They say that pedophiles are the way they are because of, like, trauma that they experienced as a child, okay? What happened at the horse stable? Did this guy have, like, a weird interaction with a rhinoceros at the zoo? Like, what happened?
always held
I'm not sure that's true. Yeah, I'm not sure this is true either.
All I'm saying.
It's just a theory, a game theory.
he's on the right side of history. So Adam claims he's always held certain positions, but now it turns out that that was false. Not only was he far more supportive of zoophilia in the past, he explicitly identified himself as a zoophilia supporter. He also claims he's gone on these rants multiple other times.
No, you don't understand, Nikandros. He's not a zoophilia supporter. He just supports their right to exist, I guess. He's about time.
Say this again. I went on this same rant in like 20 other videos.
Stop! What do you mean 20 other videos, dude? It's this... How many times has he gone on this rant? Oh, no. Dude, that's actually the most damning sentence here, because I've heard all this other stuff and I could have inferred where it was going. Hearing it now isn't really as mind-numbing as you'd think, because I kind of already assume this is his position. Hearing him say, "Oh no, I've been talking about this a lot," is like actually worse.
Himself as a zoophilia supporter. He also claims he's gone on these rants multiple other times.
I'll say this again, I went on this same rant in like 20 other videos.
He seems to have some heavy personal investment in the subject. It doesn't seem like a random thought experiment. If you look up the full highlight, his arguments and examples are very similar to the ones he brings up now. He's clearly lied and omitted that he supported zoophilia in the past, so his credibility isn't looking too hot.
Dude, he's lying about his support for zoophilia in the past. That's the allegation. But like, his arguments in this time frame are essentially exactly the same. From what I can tell. I don't know where he's going to deviate. I'll find out in a minute. But it's just like his positions don't look like they've even shifted.
But it only gets worse. In his response to Rob's video, he decided to accuse him of sending nudes to minors and for grooming children.
Oh no, I don't. Why is that? Wait, why, Nikandros? Why is that crazy?
So his credibility isn't looking too hot. But it only gets worse. In his response to Rob's video, he decided to accuse him of sending nudes to minors.
I'm nervous now.
And for grooming children. He repeated the claim on Twitter and then retweeted an implication that Rob is a pedophile. What's the basis for these claims? Rob showed the name of Adam's NSFW Twitter account and described some posts from it. Adam claims he is worried about kids being funneled to the account through Rob's video. So why didn't he set that account to protect it? It's his account. If he genuinely believed that masses of
Hey, Nikandros. I mean, I think he was in the trenches with me on this one. Yeah, I agree with you.
minors were flowing to it. Shouldn't he have done that? Adam clearly doesn't believe that this is a real issue. It's a total
Thank you.
distraction. He did a bit in one of his videos where he shows himself going to a furry porn website and
This is actually even more censored than the other video. Yeah.
describes some of the posts.
Predator pornography. I should look some up right now.
Oh look, he's added a YouTube studio blur.
I added this black box, I Nikandros, and when I showed it to you, this E wasn't blurred. It literally wasn't blurred.
Covering up that one letter will really do wonders. He's telling kids about a website full of thousands and thousands of videos and images, and he's showing himself going on it like it's all normal. It's a casual, normal thing to do.
I didn't describe any of these images beyond saying, oh, a demigorgon's in one, haha, that's funny. I didn't say what sex acts are taking place in the images. I didn't say who was penetrating who. And also...
Oh, this is my favorite clip. I know what's coming. I know it's because I clipped it and posted it to Twitter because it was so funny. Wait, here's another factor in what makes it grooming, guys. You know what makes it child grooming? All those things that he just said, but there's a key identifier that you haven't even considered.
Place in the images. I didn't say who was penetrating who. And also, it's not in the context of let's shame this person.
I forgot. It's only child grooming if you're mean.
Right? It's not in that context. It's in the context of, haha, this movie's so boring that I'm gonna look up porn.
I forgot that's how grooming works.
No, that literally makes it worse. Rob is telling the kids in his audience, people who go on these websites and enjoy this material are disgusting degenerates and they should be ashamed. If Rob has impressionable children in his audience who take what he says seriously, do you think they're more or less likely to visit those sites? How do you think the impressionable children in your audience respond to you showing looking up porn as a casual thing to do when you're bored?
I didn't even think of it like that. I think this is actually a really good argument. What the fuck? I literally didn't even think of it that way. I pointed out about how Rob says viewer discretion advised at the beginning of his video and intentionally like points his videos towards adults. But yeah, I mean, if this whole thing is talking down to furries and you're pushing impressionable viewers, then yeah, they're probably not inclined to go look that up.
Audience respond to you showing looking up porn as a casual thing to do when you're bored. You review and talk about kids' movies. There's no way you have 0 kids in your audience. Also, you have absolutely
no, they're actually man's movies. Little Mermaids for 40-year-old men.
no business having
Tons of 50-year-old men love The Lion King,
this
dude. They saw it on Broadway. How many kids do you see go to Broadway?
Given your history.
Don't post that shit in chat. Don't post links. I'm pretty sure certain states have laws against that, so I don't want any of that porn in this chat. Animated porn, that's okay. But
Can I say something to
I'm
you,
gonna
Nick?
need a context
I really like
wagon. Why? I'm gonna need a context wagon.
I would ask that mods would regulate to make sure. I didn't even click on the link, so I don't know if what you posted was legit or not, but I'm just saying. No actual porn in my chat, please.
Oh god. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's like the worst version of. Ooh, cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks. Cool it with the this. Okay. Ah.
I don't want that shit.
IRL. Yeah. I. Thank you, Smaggle. Thank you.
His first objection to what he perceives is animal porn being linked to his chat is on the basis of legality, not morality. And then he okayed people posting what he calls animated animal porn. Now that doesn't mean that he doesn't morally object to legit animal porn, but if you have a history of enabling this kind of culture in your chat, especially on a site like Twitch, which is 13+, you probably shouldn't jump into unhinged pedophilia allegations.
And yes, in that comment, I say this is grooming behavior, and I call him out in all caps, and I do a little schizo shit, right? I was ass mad because I was typing this as I was at TIFF in between fucking, running around watching 4 movies a day.
Bro, Turkey Tom is crazy now.
I
didn't know Anissa Jomha got that haircut again.
In between fucking, running around
Rick and Morty moment.
watching 4 movies.
That was an iconic movie reference to the Rick and Morty scene in Space Jam 2.
Movies a day.
I don't think that Rob showing Adam's NSFW Twitter name is funneling kids to adult content in any meaningful way. I'm saying that as someone who knows what it looks like when a YouTuber is profiting from exposing masses of minors to porn.
That's my interpretation of Nuxtaku's voice.
And has been getting away with it for years. PewDiePie.
What? What? Oh my god, he got me. He got me. He just got me. He actually just got me. The fuck, dude? I actually just got. I got got.
Face of YouTube. In 2015, he made a video reacting to a child porn cartoon.
He what now?
Because it was a popular meme on 4chan, an 18+ website. He has a massive, young, and impressionable audience.
Very sad.
And you know what else is massive?
Holy shit.
And he still decided to show them this adult material.
Am I watching child porn for YouTube? Is this...
Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Is this some like Elsa gate? I don't even know. Like, I don't. Okay.
Where we are right now, because it looks like it.
The video isn't age restricted, and if you look at the comments, your worst.
Nicholas, the goat.
Oh
I
god.
appreciate that.
I just got
Last one
flashbanged.
today, but if Bro's argument really is, but is it illegal? I'd like to remind him that slavery was legally and socially acceptable for centuries, but we can all agree that it is AMD was wrong. Sue eat shit YMS.
Holy shit.
Fears are confirmed. How many of you are under 13?
Oh god. Oh my, dude, that's not. That's okay.
They're little.
Okay, so that's that's pretty bad. I would say that's pretty bad.
Look at that! Look how old he is! He's like 12! How is this okay?
This video has 14 million views. PewDiePie easily made $100,000 off of this video while exposing millions of children to adult content that could normalize adult-child relationships to them. It continues.
Like, it's like, dude, they'll have access to this, and they'll be like, PewDiePie dressed up like Hitler one time, and that's why we should cancel everything he's ever done ever. But like, okay.
Receive comments from children to this very day
who just wrote woof in my chat? YMS, is that you?
Request instructions on how to find the material, and
I've literally never heard of this.
Then they report back being disturbed and shocked after seeing it.
Hello.
I'm not watching that. Let's go.
Some might say it's the parents' responsibility to make sure their kids don't see this stuff. But this is a 13+ website. One of the kids literally reports having watched it in a school computer lab. How is a parent supposed to stop that? I'm not judging PewDiePie using modern standards here. There were plenty of people in his comments from the start saying he's exposing kids to this stuff.
I mean, you can judge him in modern standards for keeping this video up, right? That's fair.
And requesting for the
by modern standard, this video is accessible, no?
Video to get age restricted. However, those pleas fell on deaf ears. For some reason, the media didn't care about this either. It's not like he said the N-word. Now that's a real story. Do I think it would be legitimate to call PewDiePie a pedophile and a child groomer for this? No. I still think that this is gross neglect. What about Adam, though? He's left in a pretty unenviable situation.
I think this is a very strong video because these arguments are actually like really well thought out, and I guess that doesn't happen a lot in commentary anymore.
He's a furry who enjoys explicit illustrations of animals, and he's been obsessed with debating the morality of zoophilia for over 10 years. Now it's revealed that he totally lied to his audience about never having supported zoophilia. Not only was he a supporter,
like that is like a challenging aside to bring people in and keep them around on, but it is absolutely a perfect comparison
of to
like explain why what YMS is doing seems more personal. You know what I mean? Like PewDiePie didn't have personal investment in what he was looking at. It was viral shock content that he was attempting to post, right? I can't make any discernible judgments that he's interested in looking at it.
And you're hyping up a dude who has a segment on a show called Ultimate Rape Review.
Adam needs to learn that nay means no.
Like, you can condemn him for watching that. There's just, I can't make an argument saying that he's attracted to it based solely off of that clip. With YMS, there's a lot more context to work with.
He's a furry who enjoys explicit illustrations of animals, and he's been obsessed with
here's the thing. If PewDiePie spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours debating, like, child pornography or illustrated child pornography, yeah, that clip would have an entirely different meaning.
Debating the morality of zoophilia for over 10 years. Now it's revealed that he totally lied to his audience about never having supported zoophilia. Not only was he a supporter of zoophilia, he believed he was on the right side of history and that it would be normalized in 10 years. After already having been caught lying about his position, he has to convince everyone he doesn't still secretly support zoophilia. He also needs people to believe him when he says that his attraction to explicit illustrations of animals has no connection with being attracted.
Yeah, that video should not be up. I don't really care about any modern or past standards. That video needs to be taken down.
To real animals. At least,
if not by PewDiePie, literally by YouTube.
Illustrations of animals has no connection with being attracted to real animals. At least he didn't claim to be a zoophile in that old stream. That's already something, but being willing to admit you're pro-zoophilia is one level of crazy. Being willing to admit you're a zoophile is another. There is one way.
Or a minimum age gated? Nah, if you're, depending on what your agreement is on the type of content, no, I think that Shotokan should be literally just straight up ripped off of YouTube. Strikes given and everything.
Crazy. Being willing to admit you're a zoophile is another. There is one way in which Adam can potentially demonstrate he has actually changed his mind and that he's not hiding his power level. People have been calling for Rob to debate Adam on bestiality, but I think Adam should debate his past self instead. Debate yourself now!
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's this constant debate stuff too. I don't think Adam has challenged, has he challenged Rob to a debate?
Break out the study.
And I totally think that it's fine if Rob never wants to talk to this guy in any capacity ever, because he's accusing him of being like a fucking child groomer.
And the citation.
Yeah, there's literally been, it's like, are you going to debate this? Are you going to debate this? Are you going to debate this? And neither party has even like declared interest in debating it.
And walk us step by step on how you arrived at your current position from this past one. That's all I have to say about Adam. So, where is my big video? It was supposed to come out on the 11th.
Alright, so this is just Nikandros' promotion. I'm going to keep this in because I thought his video was good. But this is him talking about the Mudahar video. Apparently it was supposed to come out a month, almost a month ago?
But now it's almost October. Yeah. I'd like to apologize for causing a disappointment. Announcing that date was really stupid because I was nowhere near finished, and my estimates were
we all do it.
Completely off. You might question, how can it take so long for me to make this video about the secret feud that
I think it's funnier though because he's sweating.
Caused Mutahar's post lacks clarity, especially given how basic the editing in this video is. The answer is pretty simple. I'm putting a lot more effort into that video than I did in this one. I'm aiming to cause maximum impact.
This whole video, realistically,
what's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter?
Is 2
Nick
clips.
Orio. Mr. Oreo.
That's why it's strong. It's like 2 clips. This does not take a long time to make. It takes longer to find, but I think he has the ability to do that.
And I'll be leaving you with a teaser, which I hope demonstrates that I am doing something.
The fuck? This doesn't look like Envato Elements. Is this about Metal Gear Solid? I just understood the Snake Eater reference. Is Metal Gear like American Gritty 007? I'm making this connection right now. That was like some James Bond type music. Is that all Metal Gear Solid is? I love highly edited slop tent. I hate you. I hate you for if you just looked at this and went, "Oh wow, this is a slop video." Fuck you, Smaggle, for one guy beyond that, you piece of shit. There's no way you'd look at this and go, "Oh, that's some good slop, man. That's some good slop, dude." Fuck you. One of my favorite songs played again. Holy shit. All right. So, oh my God, dude. I just read the first sentence. I just read the first punch he threw and just fucking Conor McGregor knocked him to the mat. Holy fuck, dude. All right, let's get the music on. Let's get the fucking music on here, dude. Let's get the music on, bro. I'm so mad. I'm actually so fucking mad. Oh, you know who's streaming right now? How long has this person been streaming? Oh my God. Oh, he's been on for 5 hours. Guaranteed he's off before I'm done. I would love to raid into Mauler when I'm done with this fucking segment, but that's going to take me too long. It's not going to happen. That would be so fucking funny. If dude, everyone's just like, did you know? Did you know? Did you see this clip? Obviously not like a malicious way, but like just, did you see this new clip? Did you see this new clip? Because obviously he's got a history with him too. Yeah. 5 hours on warm up. I don't know how long he does his gaming streams. But if he's still on, I will raid him afterwards. I know because the first EFAP movie just came out today, if you haven't seen it. Okay, YMS. Let's make it bigger. Get ready. It is time to read. I debate my past self. But there's not really much in conflict in what I've said since. Me saying that 20 years people wonder why other people were giving me so much shit for my opinions is, well, it's not the same thing as saying zoophilia should or will be normalized. That's something that you've added to yourself with your own interpretations of my words, not something that I've actually said. Even with the right side of history comment, I wasn't talking about zoophilia being like accepted by society as if, well, they should be marching to their own pride parade or something. I was talking about how people's ignorance towards normalizing animal abuse that happens every day without any criticism. It's not an endorsement of zoophilia. It only exists in the package of zoophilia laws are dumb because all the other shit we do to animals. It's like, no, Carl. No, hypothetical Carl Weiser. It's like, you can't say that now. You didn't make any of those arguments at all. It has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Am I high or do you not actually? Well, hold on, because we're gonna get Nikandros' rebuttal to this. So I'm not gonna jump in too much towards the end until the end. Even in the clips you shared, you can clearly tell that I'm upset about socially accepted scenarios of animals being neglected or abused. I'm clearly wanting a future where Jimmy's mom is not being... Wait, what? Where less Jimmy's moms are being abused and not more. I want a future where people reflect on everyday forms of animal abuse that nobody currently bats an eye at. How come all these people are able to make these arguments about about like veganism without immediately defending fucking animals inadvertently? I just got a question. There are so many vegans. Why is every vegan debate not an indirect advocation of raping animals? No one is being shamed for clipping a dog's ears or tail. Nobody's being shamed for buying a pug. Nobody's being shamed for clipping a bird's wings or keeping them in a cage for their entire lives.
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter, Nick DeOrio, Mr. Oreo.
I appreciate it. these are all normalized and socially accepted forms of animal abuse, and my ideal future is one where less people are doing these things, not one where people are free to exploit animals sexually or otherwise. My drunken early 20s self from a decade ago didn't do a really good job communicating this, so your criticism is fair and, well, it's understandable. The only reason I frame this in the context of discrimination is because the deciding factor for how people view these scenarios will always seem to be whether or not, like, the human was being sexually gratified by the act. It's just like, but this argument is, like, virtually indistinguishable from the other newer arguments. The only part that's different is you like had your optics nerve got touched before the very end of the conversation. Like fundamentally, these are the same positions. You defend that by saying, I would debate my past self, but there's not much in conflict with what I've said since. But then you proceed to say, hey, this is actually in context of things I never even mention or even allude to throughout the entire course of this argument. Or I guess like significantly. It's like, hey, here's the additional context that you need to know before you navigate my random clip from 10 years ago. It's like, this is a different argument. This is a completely different argument. Why do I keep finding examples of this argument if this is your argument? Did it take you like, how many beers did you have? And also YMS is blaming his behavior on 3 sips of beer when Keemstar has literally told you that that cures anxiety. Silly. Oh, hey, Billy. Billy Mitchell's here. Use code CUCK for 15% off in honor of iDubbbz. Bro, I had some awesome wings the other day. I checked out the original sauce. It was very good. The original sauce is the one I just had. Very good. Let's keep going. The only reason I frame this in the context of discrimination is because the deciding factor for how people view these scenarios always seems to be whether or not the human was being sexually gratified by the act. The abuse of animals seems to be irrelevant in the situation. What? What are you okay. The only reason why I've ever used this hypothetical example, like sucking or jerking off an animal, is, well, it's because I obviously believe that penetrating one would be inherently abusive. I'd even go as far to say that that's not really, do you think that's transparent, that that's his position throughout the course of the video? Do you think this is I obviously believe that penetrating one would be inherently abusive. Am I being bad faith when I say that that's not transparently, like, observable through the video? That's objectively not what he said, is what you'll say in chat. Yeah, that's not like, I did not watch the segment and go, oh yeah, obviously that's what he meant. Yeah, he's talking about, like, animal consent, man. I don't know. I've only ever used examples of what we collectively perceive to be, like, less harmful ways. Not in this one. Well, this one was, I mean, you've picked some pretty harmful examples throughout the course of this. Not only ever, yeah. Could sexually interact with an animal. The only reason I believe that this could be done in ways that aren't harmful to the animal is because, well, society already accepts. And then, dude, whoop, here it goes. Like looping through the approved talking points. In Jackass number 2, Freddy got fingered. The only scenario where people claim to be concerned about the welfare of these animals is when Jimmy's mom is being sexually gratified by the experience, regardless of the perceived experience of the animal. The only reason I used the word support in that first clip is because I was directly responding to someone in chat who used that same word to claim that I was supporting animal rape. Listen to the clip again, you can easily tell this is the case. You can also hear me drunkenly stumble over my words trying to figure out what to say in response. Again, but why is this clip as a highlight then? He can't stop repeating himself. If he just explains it one more time, it sounds less and less like he's like got an attraction to, okay, whatever. I do not stand by that comment since it was phrased in a way that doesn't accurately represent my beliefs. It was over 8 drinks, which is typical for my streams around this time, and well, I shouldn't have been taken by the bait responding to that comment using their own words. It was genuinely surprising to hear myself say those words in your video just now because, well, I don't ever remember even saying that. I legitimately had to check back to the original stream to make sure you didn't, like, use AI generation of my voice. Dude, how did we... Okay, so he's clearly writing this stuff while watching the video. Is that... I didn't believe I even said this. I thought you were using AI. I debate my past self, but there is not much in conflict in what I've said since. Your Honor, I was drunk.
Nick just started insulting me viciously on Twitter.
Okay. And again, it's like in the best moments of the stream, like there's a lot here that does not sound good. Where was I? This is it. So thank you for including a timestamp in your video to make that easier to verify. The reason why I never used the word support in the stream since then is because, well, it's never really reflected my position, and despite my terrible phrasing in these decade-old clips, at no point did I ever suggest that people should be having sex with the animals, and at no point have I ever suggested that I want people to have sex with the animals. At 4:07 in your video, you can hear me say I don't encourage it. It's obvious that this is something that I don't want to happen, and this has been, like, constant since the very beginning. Regardless of how my words have been interpreted, again, even in the clips that you're reacting to, I go out of my way to clarify that I'm only talking about scenarios where animals aren't being abused. If that's not possible, I don't support any of it. And if that's not possible, then we need to throw Johnny Knoxville, Jeff Tremaine, and Tom Green, Kenny, Spenny, and every animal breeder in jail. At the very least, they should be called out and shamed, but I don't even see a single person making these videos calling out any of those other people. Oh my god. This is a stamina... I need the stamina drug. I feel like I'm in the house thing. I need stamina drug. No, house. We need to cure the patient. Give him stamina drug. He needs to debate YMS. Oh god. I think that this is a pure humiliation ritual. You need to talk to the crazy schizophrenic animal looper man. You have to, dude, nobody can disavow this until they sit through a fucking 4-hour looping debate with animal man, with definitely does not like Animal Man. That's it. With definitely, wink wink, definitely does not like Animal Man. I need medicine drug. Again, like, I don't know. I mean, I personally have my opinions on this. I see this as, like, very bad. I see this as, like, insane. I don't know. God. For any legal entities, these are obviously allegations. I'm not like, yeah. These people are abusers despite there being recorded video evidence of them performing sex acts on real animals. People don't seem to care unless the human being is sexually gratified by the experience. The animal's well-being is not even a factor. You know as well as I do that if I truly meant what you had interpreted from my previous statements, that I would still be defending them today. And if I sincerely held that, no, I don't. I think that you would have gotten smarter in 10 years and you would have hid your power level. I think this is exactly what you would do, even if those things are true. No, well, I would still be defending those things. It's like, no. You would have figured out that this is not a take that you could publicly give. But you probably couldn't control yourself from arguing it. I think this is entirely within... This is absolutely within the realm of possibility. Yeah. You think that I did? I would still be defending them right here in the comment section to Jimmy's mom. You know this, and I know this, and everyone knows this. It's the entire reason why there's any drama in the first place. Because I'm incapable of backing down on my beliefs. I wouldn't be wasting my time trying to clarify these positions for others if my brain worked in the ways that you're claiming it does. I would simply pull a tipster. Bro, he's gonna go crazy when he sees that. He's gonna be so fucking mad, dude. Wow. Who the fuck just wrote... Who wrote 50 Shades of Greyhound in my chat just now? Yo, I just joined. What's the segment? Oh my god, dude. I would simply pull a tipster and I would pretend to denounce all my previous positions in a pathetic attempt to, stop being criticized. I appreciate your criticism and my drunken comments from a decade ago. I definitely deserve to be criticized, just given how terribly I communicated my positions on, well, serious subjects. However, I would have greatly appreciated if you had included charitable details that were covered in, well, the very videos you used as sources. It's like, dude, I don't believe you. That's why this is so nuclear. You don't understand. I could sit here here's the thing. Even if I show all those defenses and I play every single instance of you talking about this back to back to back to back, my audience would still think that you're a creep. It's not my well poisoning. You need to come to terms with the fact that it's not the hit piece video, okay? It's not the fucking evil streamer, okay? It is the interpretation of the words that you have said. You are responsible for your experience online for the last... It's probably not easy to hear. You probably had people come tell you, because we hadn't seen these clips, go like, no, dude, these clout chasers, these fucking losers online, they're just harassing you, YMS. You need to come to terms with the fact that you have said these things. And people don't like them. They don't like you because you said them. And there's no 60,000 word looped. I already read this. I've read every single response that I could find. Maybe I missed like some responses to random shitters along the way. I think I added those back, or I cut whatever argument I made about that, so I didn't like end up saying anything wrong. I'm not looking to defame you, but like I'm sitting here listening to all this shit, and your response is always, "We're just one clip away from you understanding everything. I've got one more hour-long explanation with no context clips to show you, and then you'll just understand my position." It's like, no, I understand your position. I fully understand your argument. I am still judging you. I still have the opinions that I hold. You have not convinced me. Does that make sense? Much like this comment I'm leaving, I've only ever talked about this subject in response to people like yourself bringing it up. Dude, but people have brought up situations over the years. Listen, I've been doing YouTube for like 7 years, right? Obviously, people have brought up things that I am uncomfortable speaking about, okay? And about 99% of the time, sometimes it slips through the cracks, nobody will ever know. I just move on to the next subject. Maybe there's like a grunt or an but like, yeah, I don't talk about it anymore. I don't make my entire personality this, which in turn kind of loops the wagon around, right? I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to explain rationale to an irrational person here, so I don't know if I'm going to get through. And obviously, the interpretation of my segment is one of is malice. That's what he's going to pull from it. So it's kind of a waste of my time. But there's no examples of me doing this unprompted, and I'd appreciate you. I don't appreciate you omitting that information. Also, you removed the clip of me clarifying my perspective on consent only applies to actions that animals are performing by themselves. YMS. This clip that was omitted, probably for brevity, does not make you look better. You need to stop. You need to, no, it's the opposite. Wake up, Ian. Wake up, Ethan. Go to sleep. Take a nap. Get off the internet. Unplug the router for a little while. Go watch a movie with, humans in it. Okay, just go watch a movie with humans in it. Okay, just take a break. That would have been an important part to include if you wanted to accurately represent my position to others, so I'm not really sure why you removed that from the video. Again, this is not incompatible with everything I've ever said. Dude, this guy went looking for the clip, hoping to God he never said those things, and then wrote this. Is like, thank you for holding me accountable and criticizing me, and also you're malicious and you fucking withheld context to make me look worse, and I'm sorry, but you didn't show every single bit. Okay. Obviously mad that people are talking about it. If you're going to accuse me of lying to my audience, it should be from direct quotes from myself. Hey, asshole. You filmed an hour and 30-minute response video to me and Rob. You didn't show one clip of my fucking stream. You don't get to make this argument. I gotta read every last motherfucking word of your fucking responses and watch all your fucking videos and sit here for hours. So I have to fucking edit this like a psychopath on fucking Friday evening, okay? And you're gonna come out here and be like, well, you're actually not operating off a direct quote. Fuck you. Fuck you so much, dude. Holy shit. Oh, God. Not your own editorialized interpretations of what I said. I said that I never wanted anyone to ever have sex with animals, and that's not contradicted by any of the clips you're showing. Thank you for the feedback. No. A post as long as his... Oh my... I disavow. I can't just read random comments. I always read the random comments. They're not endorsements of Veronica profile or something. But obviously, I don't know. He gets mad that whatever. Nikandros. I was over 8 drinks, which was typical for my streams around this time, and I should have not taken the bait by responding to that comment using his own words. In the original video, part 3, you said, I haven't eaten anything. I had a gigantic beer earlier and I'm a little tipsy. If you were intoxicated enough for it to be significantly impacting your judgment, it'd be noticeable to the audience in your gameplay and speech. Me saying, people in 20 years will wonder why other people are giving me so much shit for my opinions is not the same as saying zoophilia should and will be normalized. That's something that you've added yourself with your own interpretation of my words. Not something I've even said, even with the right side of history comments. I wasn't talking about zoophilia being accepted by society as it should be marching in their own pride parade or something with Jimmy's mom. I was just talking about people's ignorance towards what was normalized animal abuse that happens every day without criticism. It's not an endorsement of zoophilia, and it only exists in the package of zoophilia laws are dumb because of all the other shit we do to animals. You describe bestiality as a victimless crime, and you are disgusted that people want to send people to jail for it. You said there's no logic that defends that position. Your moral position is clearly zoophilia is morally okay, and you're disgusted by zoophiles being discriminated against. At 56 seconds in part 4, you state, I used to be very anti-zoophilia, like anything. I used to be like, it's wrong no matter what happens. The implication is that you are now not anti-zoophilia, and that you believe that there are instances where it is right. How do you describe that position? Could it be a supporter of zoophilia, like you said? At no point have I ever suggested that I want people to be having sex with animals. At 4:07 in the video, you can clearly hear me saying I don't encourage it. You follow it up with, I'm not going to convince someone to try it. The implication isn't that I don't want it to happen at all. It's that while you don't have any moral issues with it, you're not going to push it onto other people. But you recognize it as a sexual orientation and see the people with that orientation as victims of discrimination. Your current gay position is that if you could live in a world where it happens or in a world that it doesn't happen, I'd live in the world where it doesn't happen. This is very different. The standard of condemnation isn't, this guy thinks zoophilia is morally okay and he's going around recommending people do it. It is that you don't oppose it or have a problem with it. If someone makes that statement, well, school shootings aren't actually a bad thing. It's good for natural selection and therefore enhances the generic fitness of our population. You don't need to wait for them to say, I actually think more shootings, blank, 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 for you to condemn them. Much like this comment I'm leaving, if I ever talk about this subject... Wait, I only ever talk about this in response to people like yourself bringing it up. The statement that made you go on this rant originally was, I assume, reading a chat message saying, a goat is ISIS glory hole. During the rant, you described talking about it in 20 other videos, which is obviously hyperbolic, but you recognize it as a topic that you regularly talk about. In the start of part 4, you say it is going to be a drinking game. Oh, Adam began ranting about zoophilia again.
Orbiter, Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Thank you.
If your main concern was that animals are being abused and not supporting zoophilia, you'd be saying, if you're okay with animals being killed and industrially raped, you should be okay with zoophilia being normalized because having sex with animals isn't as abusive as killing them to eat it. You don't want that to happen, do you? But that simply was not what you said. If the meat industry and the other normalized animal abuse industries did not exist, your position and your logic would still lead you to be a pro-zoophilia stance. The big piece of what you're missing is that in most people's eyes, their issues with zoophilia isn't just how it impacts the welfare of animals, it's also about what it says about one person. Wanting to engage with animals sexually is a sign of severe mental illness, and the people who are concerned that they're potentially dangerous in other ways. Serial killers have a pattern of torturing animals as a first step into exploring their homicidal tendencies. Even in the current day, you don't recognize that part. Producing a gross-out scene for a movie or breeding animals is not the same thing at all as experiencing sexual arousal towards animals. It was common for me to be that drunk at that time. 8 drinks was like the norm. I appreciate you fact-checking on your end so I have a better idea of what's happening. If I said a giant beer, that would mean I filled up the entire comically oversized Oktoberfest mug that doesn't even fit on the same shelf as the other drinks because it's like so gigantic. That plus no food all day. Yeah, I was definitely drunk then. Thank you for confirming that, and Will, thanks for being honest. I didn't invent this as a reason to explain why I said those words. I believe I was drunk in the stream because not only was it the norm at the time, but, well, I could hear it in my voice. Let me hit the, do we have another thing? Yeah. Especially that vocal fumbling when I'm responding to the supporting guy in the first clip. Anyone who watched my streams at the times knows my version of drunk was never the movie version. Most people wouldn't even know when I'm like shit-faced, but like the people familiar with me did. If I said the words a little tipsy, that would mean I'm quickly approaching being shit-faced since I don't make those comments otherwise. Even if you believed I was sober, then the accusation would be that I currently have spicy takes, but my takes 10 years ago were even spicier. Not sure why that would be an issue if I'm moving in the right direction. Again, I don't think anything I said since these streams has contradicted me to a point of where you can call it lying. Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, how convenient. This is what they would call a plot contrivance. Is that what EFAP would say? If I was on EFAP right now and not my own live stream, would they be talking about a plot contrivance? Would Rags be talking about how this compares to Deadpool? I'm kidding. Someone in chat just wrote, I unsubscribed from YMS 25 iterations of this exact argument ago. Many moons ago. Oh my god, dude, this is so much. Dude, I think we're gonna do Xander Hall next stream. I think we're gonna tack that on. I'm sorry. I know, and it's a big boon of not covering the fucking poor bread tuber allegations, but I don't know if I could. I didn't think that this was gonna take as long as it did. Because we still got like another half hour here, probably. All these quotes that you're using is supposed to be like under the specific context of someone performing an act that doesn't harm an animal in any way. If no such context exists, then well, they should all be in jail. It's just difficult for me to believe it's not possible considering all I mentioned in the first comment that you pinned. I disagree with your usage of the word okay, since that implies a level of good that I don't attribute. Maybe neutral would be better. He doesn't realize that like the term morally neutral is like also a meme, like from these specific types of arguments. We are now moving on to like, this is a neutral thing to happen. I don't know. It's just, oh fuck, dude. Again, this is not about zoophilia as a whole, and only about instances where there's no harming being placed on the animals. We're literally just talking about like Johnny Knoxville if he came out today and said he was like secretly aroused by his experience jerking off a horse 20 years ago. Yeah, I could have made myself more clear with more qualifications, but like regardless of how young and intoxicated I was, the fact is I generally had no idea how people were going to misinterpret me. I don't know how to preemptively address criticisms unless they're criticisms that I know will be made. And like fundamentally, the fact that he still hasn't figured it out. I mean, I don't know, dude. He is like allegedly autistic, right? That was his position. He's like allegedly autistic. He just refused to get tested. I don't know. Oh god. Me saying that I would choose the world where it doesn't happen is true now, and it was also true then. I just didn't know it was something that I could or should be saying.
And again, this is just telling me the quiet part out loud. It's like he probably like he agrees with all these takes. That's what he says above. But like he's just found a way to optically navigate them better, which tell like that's the quiet part that he's saying out loud. Is that this is an optics. This is a fucking optics argument. It's like a disavowal, but it's not. It's an optics argument. Skinned at like wearing the skin that it's like fucking slaughtered off of a disavowal argument. It also still does not contradict anything I said earlier. The only reason that it wasn't said earlier is because, well, I didn't understand that it needed to be said until much later. Here's a good analogy. I don't think people with scat fetishes should be in jail. There are ways they could harm themselves and potentially others. He has no idea. He has no idea. Adam, just stop. Just stop. Stop. I can't take this anymore. I don't want to cover this drama anymore. Oh god, dude, I can't. They'd be like, dude, maybe Meat Canyon needs to make a parody of this before someone needs to. All right, if he is autistic, and that's truly the problem here, okay, somebody needs to animate this. Not whatever the fuck not that. Someone needs to animate and make a parody video explaining why YMS is so psychotic, so he can watch it as a funny haha, and then he can understand it. You know. If can somebody make this into a cartoon? Maybe have like a lion explain it to him. Guys, can Scar from fucking Lion King explain to YMS YMS PSA? Touching me is wrong, and here's why. He's talking about zoophilia as like being neutral. I don't fucking know. Dude. Can Scar explain it, please? Is that like? Can we do that? Can Scar please tell him why it's bad? Would that help? Would that like get us somewhere maybe? I don't this is just too much for me. This is way too much for me, bro. Oh god, dude. I want to check out here, but if I do, he's gonna write a huge fucking YouTube comment about how I fucking noped out too early and he was like minutes away from fixing the whole thing. I don't believe they should have their lives made worse by our legal system. That doesn't mean I think that scat fetishes are morally good or okay. It just means that, well, I don't want Jimmy's mom to, be harming people and not harming others. Same thing with hard drug users. Just because I don't want them to go to jail doesn't mean that I think that fentanyl is a good thing by any means. Fentanyl is another example of something that I wish I would erase from the world with like a snap of my finger. We can't, so the best option seems harm reduction instead. Your analogy with school shootings would be more accurate if instead of me saying that school shootings are a bad thing, I would say if someone shoots inside of a school but they only shoot the floor and the school is in their own property and no one else is involved, then it's stupid to throw them in. Oh my. I have to take off the voice for this. Your analogy with school shootings would be more accurate if instead of me saying school shootings aren't a bad thing, I said, if someone shoots inside of a school but they only shoot the floor and the school is on their own property and no one else is involved, that it's stupid to throw them in jail only because it technically was a school shooting. Just to be clear, this is just me being a complete asshole. Firing a gun in a school zone, regardless of whether it's private property, is like a fucking crime. That's why Boogie got fucked. That's why Boogie got fucked. He fired a warning shot in a school zone, so that would be like irrational. What is this argument? Yeah, it's just like, hey, here's this impossible, unrealistic, unexplainable example. The analogy can only work if you come up with scenarios where harm is removed from the otherwise harmful act. Why? That's the most important thing to consider here. How many numbers are there? The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Unfortunately, the chat wasn't shown on screen until some years after this, so we don't have any much to go off of. I wish I could remember every instance of what caused it, but it was over a decade ago, and I genuinely have no idea. 20 does seem hyperbolic, but my understanding is that I'm referencing other times that I've been drunkenly baited on stream into ranting about it by people in chat, hence me mentioning it was a drinking game, even. The reason I drank so much back then is because I was unmedicated for things I didn't even know I was undiagnosed for, like ADHD. I actually need to stop reading this. I'm getting more and more mad. This guy's like It's not me. It's my fake autism that I decided I have. It's not me. It's actually my ADHD. It's not me. It's actually the alcohol here. It's not me. These are actually still my arguments, but they're actually not my arguments because the alcohol convinced me to say things I don't mean. And I meant to say this 10 years ago, but I can't remember even saying... I know what I meant 10 years ago, but I can't remember even saying this. And I had to go back to find out if I even did. If you don't read all of this, YMS will claim victory. You're right. You're actually right. Oh God, dude, you know who's the real victim here that needs to be addressed? It's the Nick DeOrio who has to then watch this entire segment back for 3 hours and remove every single time the word minor, bestiality, or animal is used in the context of a sex act. Oh, you're one sentence away. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm so much farther than that. Oh, God. All right. Here we go. And also, yeah, you had to be here. Otherwise,
hey, Nicholas DeOrio,
you're going to be waiting for this video because it is not staying up. Again, I am not keeping this up. I will be downloading this promptly tomorrow morning, and this segment will be removed. So, yeah. You better get it while it's hot. The intent is to post this on Saturday. I will do everything in my power to do that. Okay. Who's saying no? You're here. You made it. Since getting proper medicated earlier in the year, I've stopped drinking almost entirely. Legit, I used to be 6 drinks a day minimum. My body metabolized it well. I could still manage to stay productive. Check out any of my old eating... Oh, dude. Listen, I'm completely unhinged here, but I was always productive when I was drunk. It's like, it's always a bad thing, and also it's actually like, I was totally normal. I was totally normalized when I would do 6 drinks a day. In fact, 6 drinks was like nothing to me, except for in this instance when it was a lot more. He was an alcoholic, yeah. Checking out any of my old editing highlights videos. I always had a gigantic mug filled with gin and juice. It was nonstop because I was self-medicating for other issues. I didn't even know I had. Look it up. It's a very real thing. But yeah, either way, recognizing it as something I've ranted about several times does not mean any of those rants were unprompted. Again, this comment I'm leaving here could be considered one of those rants. But you understand I'm engaging you in a conversation to address your criticisms. The overwhelming majority of examples have always been from things like this. I'm confused by your example, but I think that you're trying to say my examples would be more extreme if it were really about animal welfare. Not really. The point I am making also has to do with the fact that people ask themselves questions and confront uncomfortable truths about their own reality and their relationship with the world around them. Ooh. Ooh. Spooky. The biggest reason it pisses me off is because of the contradiction, which is fueled by our own human tendencies to enact cognitive dissonance. Because of this, I use the least harmful examples that fit my argument much better, since even those are still argued against ad nauseum. I understand where he's coming from here. There are things that trigger the fuck out of me, that I just blow up and I just start arguing about. Like, for example, the fucking ball drop that was Squid Game Season 3, dude. It's never about animals having sex with human beings. It's about like, wow, I can't believe Squid Game Season 3 was so fucking bad. Holy shit, how did they fuck that up? Right? Like that's a trigger word for me. All right, I can't conceptualize how this has become a trigger word for you. I don't know, whatever. I love and that doesn't make Squid Game Season 2 perfect either, but holy fuck, there was like a way that could have gone that would have been good. You know? There's a Season 3 somewhere in some capacity that stuck the landing, and we will never know what it was. Season 2 sucked too. I'm sorry. It's not even remotely conceivably as bad as Season 3. Season 3, I think episode... What was it? What's the episode where they killed off every single meaningful character? That was so fucking crazy. They killed off every single meaningful character and had the culmination of the show around I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Even Season 1 sucked. You're out of your mind. You're crazy. On a different day, that would be a ban. Not as good as Dark. Dark's better. Dark is good. I vaguely remember the clip from the first stream where someone asked if I'd still be okay with the meat industry didn't exist. I would say like, yeah, without elaborating, but I should have repeated that I was not talking about any action, just those in which there are no harm being inflicted. But again, knowing YMS and the arguments he's made, what does he mean by no harm is being inflicted? I said this because of a large part of the argument is that policy shouldn't be based on whether or not someone is doing something for the taboo intent of actual harm. If there is no actual harm, then why harm someone? I am not sure if they only mentioned the meat industry and forgot to mention animal breeders, but regardless, this is a hypothetical example that didn't have any time to properly think about. So likely it doesn't reflect what I would actually be saying in that scenario if it became a reality. Like, this is like the bending over backward ways of being like, oh wow, this is actually what I said, but I didn't really mean it. Okay, I didn't say that, but if I did, I didn't mean it. And if I did, I was drunk. And if I did, I didn't remember saying it to begin with. But I know around this time I was an alcoholic, but I was a functioning alcoholic. And I absolutely was doing this constantly, and it took me a shitload of beers to even get drunk, and like, If there really was a world where the concept of animal breeding was shunned and outlawed, well, I couldn't see myself caring too much about the subject, and I sincerely doubt I'd be defending these niche examples of human-animal sexual intercourse.
What's the name of the guy?
Thank you, Grassroots.
Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Regardless of whatever harm is being inflicted or not, in that scenario, animal breeders can easily argue there are ways in which sexual intercourse with animals are... Okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However, in that world, it would be consistent that I would really have anything to rant about if that were the case. Seems like a better world, honestly. I'm not a fan of the idea of animal breeding at all, so it'd be a win-win for me. I think we both agree and disagree on this last one. I agree that it can and likely should be considered a mental illness. I don't agree that this means that we should treat them as being any more dangerous than they act. Okay, now we're back to like the... Dude, I'm a virtuous... Oh, dude, I can't. Serial killers chop animals into pieces, which is a lot closer to the proximity to the meat industry than the hypothetical niche examples of less harmful sexual interactions that I listed.
Nick just started insulting me viciously on Twitter.
Dude, this is too much. I need to stop. I can't do this anymore. Oh my god. Holy fuck. What we do is go back. I'd imagine the type of people who got off to seeing blank, blank, blank would probably get a job doing that. Okay, you never know, I guess. Anyways, I'm not here. Do you think... Wait, hold on. I imagine the types of people who get off on seeing animals mutilated would probably get a job doing that for the meat industry. What do you think these guys are just fucking... They're cutting a fucking steak and jacking off to it? Why can you not conceptualize anything about animals without someone's dick in their hand, dude? What are you talking about? What do you think, that cutting animal meat is a fucking fetish? Like, what is happening here, dude? Anyways, I'm not here to crusade for zoophiles. You could have fooled me! Just here to defend myself and clarify my positions. If I was any kind of activist, I would be creating persuasively edited propaganda pieces, not just responding on streams and comment sections when people demand my attention. I really do appreciate that you seem like someone who's actually trying to engage with what I'm saying and respectfully challenging me on it. I appreciate that you actually are fact-checking and bringing specific examples of things I said with timestamps. It's genuinely refreshing, and I wish more people were capable of this. For now, I can't keep typing like this. My arm is going to kill me tomorrow for what I've typed already today. I followed you on Twitter, so I can send you voice DMs if you have more questions. All right. So anyways, guys, this is my summary on the whole situation. The Third Reich was a time in Nazi Germany when... We just got to go back a little further, okay? I can't do it. I can't... YMS is still using speech to text. You're a pathological liar, freak behavior, Adam trying so hard, totally mentally unhealthy. Why do you sound like Destiny? He's doubling down. I think it's clear. You are not on the right side of history. Your own fandom and community is putting you on blast. Take the hint. I don't think his community is putting him on blast. Holy fuck, dude. YMS asks for surrender 5 times. Fuck you. That made me laugh. I asked YMS to surrender 5 times. I didn't attack Brad Taste of Music. Oh god, dude, the AI real humor fucking murders me. That was a cheap shot. That was a cheap shot, you fucking asshole. That was a cheap shot. Put The Lion King Part 2 in the bag. Dude, I was watching... This just popped up on the TV the other day. And I was watching... Like, The Lion King just happened to be on. And it was, like... Not The Lion King. And I realized, I Googled it, they made a second Lion King. Did you know this? There's like a second Lion King. When the fuck did they do that? Not like the human Lion King. They made like another one. They made like the Lion King. Is that what it's called? The Lion King 2? It was straight to VHS. As a kid. Is this not new? There's a 2.5. It was the one where they were like, the only scene that it was out of the corner of my eye. They get like trapped in the water and then they go into this thing and then they race in like the grass or whatever. And then they get there and it's like, okay, we're not going to murder you because my stupid son intentionally failed the race. That was what I remembered. It was based off the Shakespeare spin-off book. It's the version by Stephen King. Wait, this was 20 years ago? I just thought there was one. I knew there was two. It's a love story. Don't show that one to... Never mind. Okay. After the end of Nuxtaku, the world's going to split in two. Mutahar and Chud. This marked the beginning of the era called the Commentary War. What a weird hill to die on. He's a freak. Is YMS in the comments of any of these? Or is he just... He's smart enough to stick to one now. Here, before YMS drops the Cope essay, he made the comment like that up top. He's basically already done it. He does it every time. Never failed to disappoint. How many days did it take YMS to respond to this? So this video came out 5 days ago, and YMS, it took him 3 days. Okay. Nick, show all 3 Land Before Time sequels. I think I saw Land Before Time. Nick, don't read my comment. Why? Jesus, that text scroll. Ooh. Oh, we're good. Okay. We're fine. We're fine.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Nicholas DeOrio.
Uh-oh. What's that in the what? Oh my god, this is ridiculous. It's just still going. Holy fuck, dude. I gotta be honest. Here's my takeaway. You want my takeaway for this whole fucking thing? The Chestnuts clip is objectively funny. Fuck Cutie Cinderella. Holy shit, the worst thing that Ethan Klein ever did in history was apologize for that fucking comment. It's ridiculous. Absolutely motherfuck Cutie Cinderella. Fuck her award show. Fuck Ludwig. Fuck them all, dude. That's the big takeaway here. Subscribe to Accounting and YouTube, okay? That's my fucking take on this, alright? Thank you.